Hey traders, Raghee here, and in this video we're going to do a brief walk through one of the day trading setups we had in the chat room this morning that we discussed. It was actually this and Apple was most of the focus intraday. And I'll also point out another one that we watched but didn't come back to, and that was PayPal, just to point out another really great example. And that's an example of the breach retreat, where we look at the first 30 minutes of the day, wait for the market to break out through the high, and then look for opportunities to get long after the market comes back. And the RTY was a really nice example of that, waiting for the high to low range to form. You know, one of the things a lot of traders do is as soon as the bell rings, they feel like there's got to be a trade that needs to go off in the next 5 or 10 minutes. And the reality is most of the time, and sometimes on my best trading days, my first trade doesn't come until sometime between 10 and 10:30 Eastern. So think about time. While a lot of traders are thinking about getting a trade off the first, say, 15 minutes, you know, giving the market another 15 minutes to figure out what the range is usually a pretty good idea. And then being open to the next 30 minutes for particular opportunities. Again, not a bad idea. Apple was interesting, and Apple's a good example of having a range and playing options in such a way that, in this case, Apple began to move against the initial positions as we scaled in, right? Scaling in at different levels, looking for the market to move higher. And then below the clearing range low, having enough wiggle, having enough tolerance to sit through some unrealized losses, having some elasticity at those levels that are best given by scaling in and having options allows us to wait for the market to sort of come back in our favor. Apple was a tough one, but again, I think when scaling in and not buying the new high, remember, even in the breach example with the Russell, we're not buying up, we're buying after the market comes back down, after the breach signals that the long side could be the path of least resistance. Here's another example of a breach, and this one's in PayPal, PYPL, and here's a really nice looking breach. There's the market moving lower into the zone, and you know, once we get down to that layer of support, looking for the market to surge back higher. And again, look how long this took. You know, this wasn't a trade we took in the first 15-30 minutes. The first opportunity to do anything was just after 10 a.m. and even going into 10:15 a.m. So don't hesitate or be comfortable waiting for opportunities after the clearing. All right, gang, hope that helps. I'll see you in the next update.